We all went around today to monitor compliance in line with the directive of the state government. We undertook a tour of the market and observed partial compliance, as some people are still trading commodity other than food items and other essential items that is approved. This for us is unacceptable. Coronavirus is real, and it's for our own good that these decisions are being taken. And I will implore our citizens to please obey this directive. We need you alive to contribute your own quota to the development of our state and our country. And these measures are meant to keep you alive and stop the spread of coronavirus. Some of the areas that we visited are the marketplaces. We observe also that some of the areas in the marketplaces, social distance is still not observed, especially Market Square, Kada Mall, Santana Market, as well as some stalls in the New Benin axis that we visited. We employ the security agency. They have stepped up today. We expect that they should step up again tomorrow to make sure that compliance is observed and we have full compliance tomorrow. We also observe in the area of transportation that a lot of transporters are still flouting the directive of social distance in public buses and taxis. For emphasis, the policy is that for cars, they are to carry 1 passenger in front and 2 at the back. For buses, it remains 1 passenger in front and 2 in the middle row and the back row. The isolation center. We have visited the isolation center at Stella Obasanjo. You are aware we are expanding that facility. The commissioner will give you details of the isolation center that we visited. I'm also happy to announce that the governor has ordered that all patients in Stella Obasanjo Hospital to be evacuated and moved to Edo Specialist Hospital. The commissioner also will give details of that. And the governor has also approved that the state should work out a stimulus package for the vulnerable people in the society that will be affected by the advent of coronavirus and the stay-at-home order.
Story about these isolation centers in Edo State dates back before even the outbreak of COVID-19. Where we have a center of excellence in Edo State, that is the Edo Central Area Specialist Teaching Hospital. But with the advent of coronavirus and COVID-19, the state government has mandated that we have 1 isolation center, at least 1 in each senatorial district. So we also have another isolation center in Edo North, specifically in Auchi, and that center is on, but also being worked up for upgrading. For Edo South, which is the capital city of Edo State, the Benin City, and of course recognizing the fact that for coronavirus, we expect to have more of the victims in this metropolis. We are planning to expand the available spaces at the isolation centers. Before the sports festival, the isolation center at the Stella Obasanjo Hospital, which is a 12-bedded center, was already fully prepared, equipped, and personnel trained for any eventuality of an outbreak of COVID-19 during the preparations for the sports festival. But the sports festival has been postponed. But going forward, we've had a tour of that facility, and the mandate of the government was to expand the space available at the Stella Obasanjo Hospital. And so going forward, we have another structure being constructed It's nearing completion at Stella Obasanjo. It is a 28-bedded isolation center. Of course, the government has also identified the fact that we should just have one complex that will be designated as an isolation center. So the mandate is to get all the services currently going on at the Stella Obasanjo main hospital and relocate personnel and services to the Edo Specialist Hospital. Stella Obasanjo Hospital, as we speak, is a 156-bedded hospital, and for the purpose of having a holding area for cases of coronaviruses that are yet to be confirmed, should they come, any suspected case will be admitted at the holding center. So work has started with the evacuation of services and personnel, and we hope in the next few days, the 156-bedded Stella Obasanjo Hospital will be ready for a holding center. And just to add to the availability of other facilities at the Stella Obasanjo complex, of course, we know that we have an ICU or so in that complex, intensive care unit. The state government is also planning to upgrade it. And then we have an incinerator. The incinerator is also within the complex of the Stella Obasanjo Hospital, wherein all wastes and all consumables that have been used will be completely dealt with. That is the story about the isolation centers. We also have another holding center, the Ogbe Nursing Home here in the GRA. This is a holding center for cases that need to be kept in privacy. So it's a high-profile holding center. Work is going on, and in the next few days, that center will be completely ready. Thank you, and God bless you.
I was part of the state response team that went on facility inspection earlier today. My impression is that government is proactively preparing for a worst-case scenario. The facilities that were inspected for isolation, they are equipped, even with ventilators. However, we must not be carried away by the fact that we have just one case. Prayer is that it does not get to the point where these things will be immediately coming to use. So what that means is that our people must own the fight against the coronavirus pandemic, and that is prevention. The stay-at-home order should be respected and obeyed. The social distancing rule should be abided by. If we have nothing at all to learn from, what we have seen across the world, in Europe and the Americas, is enough to spur us to obey the rules that have been laid down. My own is to urge you to be proactively prepared. And that is first to know that if it has affected other societies, it can. We have proven 65 cases. That's enough. Let's not wait for people to begin to die. This is serious, but let's not allow it to get to a point where people are falling and dying on the street before we take it seriously. So I urge you, let's work closely with the committee put in place by government.
Let me start by appreciating the government of Edo State. I was part of the team that visited Stella Obasanjo Hospital, and I was pleasantly surprised that in that facility we have 3-in-1, which is not very common. 3-in-1 in the sense that within the same environment, we have a facility for holding contacts. We have another structure for mild to moderate cases. And we have another structure to manage severe cases. This, to me, is outstanding, and the government must be commended for that.
That there are self-isolation, there are a lot of them. Some of them were in our meeting during the inauguration of the state committee. And the reason was when the news of the chief of staff to the president and the governor of Bauchi was announced, you know, our governor had to go on self-isolation. So most of them haven't heard that the governor has had contact and is also on self-isolation as a result of his contact with these people. They also decided to go on self-isolation. And for me, what I did was to immediately send my own samples. And I'm happy to announce that my sample came negative. So others are on self-isolation, and no sign, actually, none of them have any sign, and that is why I had to brief you this afternoon of his approvals, approving that we work out a stimulus package. He is working from there, he's working from his isolation, and he's ill and aidy, and others that are in self-isolation, our team are checking them, taking their temperature, and also observing them, and they are doing very well. You have to help to make sure that this spread is curtailed. And the easiest way to do it is for you to just obey the rules that have been put down. These rules are for all of us. It's not meant for you alone, it's meant for all of us. Social distance is key. Please stay at home. I thank you very much for listening, and may God bless all of us.